Welcome if you're new here. Welcome back if you've been here before. We're going to start with Tillamook because I still need to be comforted. And this is a comfort lip balm for me. It really is. So we're gonna do looks 5 and 6 with this palette. And I meant to do the intro when I do look 7, but we're already here now. So y'all know what it looks like. I'm laughing inside because I'm still trying it. Hashtag troll is still trying it. So I'm gonna prime the lid and do the intro, and then we're going to jump into these looks. And I am going to go back and forth instead of just one and then the other one. Hopefully that'll cut down on time. I don't know. One look is real simple. It's 3 shadows, but I'm still trying, y'all. And I want to do this before I start mixing up the palette. So for the intro, my name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy, just knowing it's okay to be your authentic self. And the troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand, a certain tool, or a certain technique. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we are about self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without face paint on. That's what we stand for here. Knowing who you are, being your authentic self, wearing whatever you want to wear, however you want to wear it, and just rocking it and knowing that you're the bomb. So that's what we stand for here. I do curse sometimes in videos because I curse sometimes, period. There's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. It may make an appearance because I just ate some extra crunchy peanut butter right out of the jar. It was delicious. So that is it for the intro. Let me know if you watched my 4 look and first impressions video, like what your thoughts are on that. Like, what are your thoughts on this palette? What are your thoughts on those looks? Like, if you're around my complexion, or even if you're not, and you saw those looks, at first glance, do they all look the same? Putting them next to each other, like how I did at the end of that video, and being nuanced, I could tell that they were 4 different looks. And I think what happens is when I watch thumbnails, and it's like, 4 looks or 5 looks, they all look the same. And so I think it helps to see, the front view, the side view, the closed eye view in comparison to the other looks. Because if you're just showing me the side of each eye or just straight, palettes like this one, the gold, whatever gold you use is going to look the same, and it's going to make the look very similar to something else. And so I'm realizing here that it may just be the way the thumbnails are, but then when I see them do the looks, I'm like, seeing them one at a time, I'm like, they look the same. So for me, I would have to see them grouped together so I can be like, oh yeah, that's different. But let me know your thoughts on that. So we do have on our lower lash line and our inner rim Sephora Ultimate Gel Eyeliner, waterproof, and this is 09 Matte Brown. And we have been using that for most of the looks. So this is going to be look number 5. Excuse me. This is going to be look number 6, and we have one more that we're going to do, and we will have ran through this palette like we paid for it. Well, I actually did pay in full price. Okay, let's just get into it. So we're going to take Nebula, this shade right here. This is going all over this lid, and I'm still just laughing like I am really trying it, y'all. Like, I am seriously trying it. And what I realized I didn't do, I know I spoke about Karen's video. She did a dark smoky look because she took Log and put that like in her crease or whatever, and then she took one of the other shades, I don't know if it was this one or this one, but it was one that was a little bit deep. Well, wouldn't have been this one because that's a metallic. So it had to be either one of these 2 that she put for her transition, and the look was super dark, and I'm like, I need to do that. So maybe my 8th look will be like a smoky look, but I'm really just wanting to see what these metallics and the wet effect and the sparkling foils are going to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that will determine which ones are going to actually stay in this palette once I start rearranging it. You know what I'm saying? And so, because I know I can easily do a smoky look, like I live there, so. But I just really want to see what I can do with this palette, even though this is not my preferred aesthetic. But just to have an appreciation for it, for what it is able to do, and not just go in and just try to make it what I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? I did that with Pat McGrath Mothership, the Moonlit Seduction one. I was trying to make it something it wasn't, and once I accepted it for what it was, I really love that palette. And so I do want to appreciate a palette for what it is and not for what I can try to make it be. And I hope that that makes sense. So now we're going to take, for this eye, did I just point all the way up here? We're going to take Area, because it doesn't show up the shade, not much. This is going to go on the first half of the lid. And because we've used all these shades, I just tapped into Fizzy. So let me put that brush down and get a clean Hourglass number 3. Because we've used all of these shades several times, when I was looking at my write-up for this, I'm like, did we do that already? But no, these are different combinations, and all the looks are on the same piece of paper. So it was easy just to like look up and be like, no, we didn't do this in this combination and in this order before. But it was just like, what? And because I did the first 4 looks over a 2-day period, I'm like, it's pretty fresh. Like what I did is still pretty fresh. And so that's why I was like, what? I'm thinking I can just flip this over, to be honest with you, but we're not, because yeah, we are, because I can tell where the shadow is. So that's the shadow. This is the clean side. So now we're going to take Sandstone, which is this shade. So this is first half of the lid. Now we're taking Sandstone, and we're going to take Sandstone on this side and put that on the second half of the lid. And I know we layered before, so I was really like, did I do this? And it was like, yeah, but it was just different colors. The creamy mattes do have some kick up in the pan. It might just be the way I'm pressing my brush into it. Sandstone is lighter than Area. Excuse me, I do like this. I like that this looks mustard. This shade right here. So it's giving me that grunge vibe, and I'm digging it. And this will go well with Mini Star, because that's a grungy little quint. So I'm excited to see my 7th look. And maybe I will just play around and just do a smoky look just for giggles. But I am excited to mix this up because it's going to make it more versatile. I was going to put some over here. More versatile for me, just like when I mixed up Xenon. And I really love my new Xenon palette. And I love my new Glam, Retro Glam. And so I like that these pans are interchangeable. So we're going to put that brush away. We're going to take Teak. What? We're going to take this shade in the middle, and that's going to go in our outer corner over here. So I should have left space, so I didn't though. So we're going to see if we can get this on, and I may need to, I'm going to pull out that Hourglass brush that I put away just to just get it to go on over that metallic or whatever formula that was. And I knew I was putting this here, but I took that first shade all over anyway. I had a thought to use a black eyeliner today, and I'm like, and then I realized I only had that thought because I seldom use it, and it's a MAC paint pot and they last for years, but I just very seldom use it. But then I'm like, I ain't going to do that. So I pulled out Fortune from Melt Cosmetics. It's a green. So we are implementing my vibe in these looks, and I feel that I can do that now. I feel like I'm yelling. I haven't been asleep yet, and it's like quarter to 8 in the morning. I know. I'm so excited about this palette because I'm like, if I do these 2 now, when I wake up tonight, I can do look number 7. That's how I did the other ones, the 2 in the morning before I went to sleep, and did the other 2 once I got up. So we're going to go back with this brush. And both of these are Hourglass. This is Hourglass number 6. Y'all know that first one was number 3. Y'all see it all the time if you've been here. So we're just bringing this up over just a little bit. Do we have a shade to go brow bone? Yes, we do. So we're just going to put this here. Actually, we're going to bring it lightly over because you can see it. Oh, that's pretty. but it probably looks like something else that we did. That's pretty. I like that. And what I could do is take log, right? And put this outer corner and bring this up here as well, but we're not. And we're also going to put this on our lower lash line with this big ass brush. I don't know why. Because it doesn't show up much, so it doesn't really matter. And if anything, it's going to make it look smokier, especially over, oh yeah, over that brown. When I said, oh yeah, I thought about that Kool-Aid commercial. Oh yeah. I'll be thinking of strange things when I get sleepy. I'm going to take this brush, which is what I had out for Teak for lower lash line, because this is coming down far. And I do like it though, but I want it to be thinner in here. And because the shape of that brush, it was hard to get in here. And so that is kind of that look. Am I seeing something on my face? Yeah, I am. Huh. And you know what? It's going to stay right there. So this eye is done. Oh, no, it's not. I had that brush out for my brow bone. So we're taking the clean one, and we're going to take Flesh. Nebula is kind of flaky too. The Nebula, there's pieces of it in this shade. This is Nebula, and there's pieces of that in here. Where is Flesh? Flesh, right here. We got that for brow bone? I'm just really trying different things, because it's like, this doesn't make sense. So we're just going to feather this. So this is a good brow bone shade too, but so that's that look. We're going to take that blending brush that had Teak on it, and we're just going to blend this over. So because this makes a good brow bone shade, this is nice as a really thin line brow bone shade, because it makes me look ashy. And which other one was a good brow bone? This one, was it that one? Yeah, this one is a brow bone too. But because this barely shows, I'm like, I would feel okay getting rid of this one or this one. The only difference is, actually they're both, I think this is cream to powder, and I think this is creamy matte. That's the only difference. But I'm gonna see what I feel like when I start playing around with how to rearrange it, to see what's going to stay and what's not going to stay. So that's it for this look. So it's really simple, very easy. It's very easy. It's an easy palette. So now we're going to take Kava. I'm not even going to use this brush for Kava. We're just going to, and we used this for Kava in the look yesterday when we did the center stripe on this eye. So we're going to take that same, that same side, and we're going to put that on the first half of the lid. I'm looking at my notes, making sure I wasn't confusing myself. This is definitely going to go away because it's even though this is a shine too, it shows up. This barely shows up, and it is a chroma crystal. It is very much a topper. And then I'm thinking like, well, what if I put it over a dark eyeshadow base? I do have Dip Down as a brown Max Fluid line that I can use as a shadow base to see if it'll show up. But I'm just looking. So even being a topper, it's just like, where are you? So I do know this one is going to go. I'm a whole ass clown. But you know what though? I am really enjoying just playing with this palette, doing different color combinations and just seeing what's going to happen. We're going to flip it over and we're going to take Fizzy. But I think I do want to try it with the brush first. This brush. And I do like Fizzy. Fizzy does show up somewhat as more of a shine, and it's kind of orangey coppery shine compared to Kava, so you can see it and you can see the difference in the colors between the two. So Fizzy does show up. We're going to sweep in between, and so you see like the shine here, but for Kava it's like, where you at? These hoes ain't loyal. She like, you can put me in this pan. We're also going to take the other side of this with Fizzy. Fizzy's formula is very smooth. And we're just going to see if this is going to excuse me, amp it up. And I drank a lot of water too after I ate that peanut butter. See, what had happened was I ate an apple with the extra crunchy peanut butter, and I still wanted more. And that was my last apple. So I said, I'm gonna just get me a spoon and just eat the peanut butter. And then of course, because of the peanuts, because it's extra crunchy, I was thirsty. See, so you can see this one. This is definitely going. Like it's going somewhere. And I do have quite a bit of fallout. Like, do I care? Do I ever really care? And because of all the other stuff on my face that brings luminosity to my face, like from here it blends in. You only see it maybe if you come up close. But I don't care. So now we're going to take Alchemist, this shade here. Y'all, we still with these shades. And I have this brush for that, which is going to blow it out. And we're going to put this on the lower lash line. This palette is super easy to use. I have shadow with my eyelashes. And I do like that. And so I do not regret my purchase at all. Not at all. And I like how, you can see this down past the brown. I remember before I used to use this thick brush for a shimmer and do my lower lash line, because it would do the same thing. It would blow it out and blow it down. And then I would take a smaller brush, like something like this, and take a darker shade and put right up under my lash line. So this is the same effect, and I really like it. I really do. And so that is it for that. So I do think this looks like either probably look number one. It looks like something. But what we're going to do now, we're going to edit out. This is going to be quick, which is good. We're going to go green. We're going to put on Fortune from Melt Cosmetics. We're going to put on MAC Stack Mascara. I'm going to figure out a lip. I had a thought to do a green. And probably because we're doing the green liner. Yeah, we're going to put on Dark Forest. So that's what we're going to do. And when we come back, everything will be done. This is what we have, y'all. And I have to say, I don't know if it's because of the eyeliner and the lip or not, but I am digging it. I do think this looks like one of the first looks we did. I really kind of do. But you know, it is what it is. And so this is look number, what is this? This is look number 5. And this is look number 6. Let me know what you think. I know it's all running together. I know. Hang tight. We'll be back with look number 7. Thank you for staying. We're starting with Tillamook again for the same reason. I was going to just do one look number 7, but y'all see we have different things going on. Face is done. This eye is primed. I primed this and I put on top of this a Max Paint Pot in Black Mirror, I believe, because I'm thinking, let me just see what it looks like over a base. I was going to do it in a completely separate video, and I said, you know what, let's just get her done and then let this palette rest. And so for a little bit, because we are going to come back. What liner am I going to use for upper lash line? Okay, let's just do that, or this one. I know I'm so prepared, right? Or that one. I just pulled out like 3 liners for upper lash line. Lower lash line is a coppery-ish color. Interims, upper and lower, we have a green. So here we are. We're going to start with Log, because I haven't done a look trying to be smoky. And I've seen some really pretty dark looks, but then, you know, you can smoke out your outer corner, and even your transition you can make dark. But then you put any of the golds on the lid, depending on your complexion and depending on your undertone, they may or may not show up. I watched a video today. She was brown skin and the golds was popping. This one, Alchemist, I like. This was more bronzy on her, and I think she also used Oro, this one, which is a bright one, which is really pretty, but it really popped. And she was not deep dark, but she was deeper than me, and I was like, damn, that's really pretty. But then I was thinking too, like, what happens, you know, when she uses the lighter golds in the palette? You know what I mean? Like, is it just gonna not be as like, oh wow, you know? So one of the comments was they were going to pass on this palette But seeing her looks, now they were reconsidering. And I'm like, but that's just, well, 2 looks, because she did one on one eye. One with this on the lid and the other with this on the lid. But both of them, I believe, she used this one and teak, which does show up nice. I do actually really like sandstone because it's kind of grungy in a way. It's like a mustard, and I forget what it's described. I think that one was the matte ochre something or other. So we're going to put this here. And actually, do we want to do... I was wondering if I want to do that over here, but I think I'm going to put teak over here. And I know I've been using teak a lot because I really like teak. Teak be teaking. So I was going to come back, and I thought to do a live, you know, overshadow bases and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just, we are taking teak again. This shade right here. But I'm feeling like, let's just do what we're going to do. And, excuse me. I still feel like my throat wants to say something. Let's just do what we're going to do and revisit this maybe in like a month. I did take apart my mini star palette. Those pans are not magnetic. And it's so little space that I ended up using my box cutter. And I was able to get between the pan and the component. That is pretty. But trying to move it along the edge, the tip of the box cutter broke off. And instead of me pulling out a replacement, because when I bought the box cutter, it came with replacement blades. This is teak. I just kept using it because even though it broke, it still had a sharp edge to it. I was very careful, y'all. And I didn't want to use heat. This was like 9 o'clock this morning. I was sleepy, and I'm like, I don't want to use fire like right now. Like, I didn't trust myself. But so the metallics popped out after I got the box cutter down into the groove, but the matte one is shattered. There's like maybe, well, there's still some in there, but I scooped up, you know, the chunks that popped out, and I will just try to fix that later. And so we have 3 shades that I'm considering putting in here. That looks nice, but we already knew we like teak. And we're also going to put teak on the lower lash line over here. And we might as well do that over here too, right? Or I'm going to take sandstone, so let's just use different colors. So we're putting teak over here. So, yeah, I thought they were magnetic, and I think I was thinking that it was going to be like the $45 quints versus the $25 quints, which are now $29. And so I really wasn't thinking like it wasn't going to be magnetic. So I was really just surprised, and I'm like, what? So we're going to take sandstone. We're going to put that over here. I was going to take aria. So that's what I was kind of hesitating. So we're going to put this under here. So I did get, you know, them out, and I put those pans on top of the color I thought I was going to take out of here because I just want to see it. And because the pans are not magnetic, I'm going to have to glue them in, which means they're not going to move. And typically, once I rearrange a palette, I don't move it anyway, because I do, you know, place the shadows on top of the shadow so I can just see, is it really what I want? And so I haven't rearranged the palette twice. So it's like what it is what it is. Now we're going to take Oro, this shade here, and we're going to put this on the lid. What are we doing? I just wanted to see if log was going to really make a difference. So we're going to put this on the lid, and this shade I do really like. And so, I mean, this is really pretty. Like this, oh, this is a pretty combination. And so I just wanted to see like how deep we can get, even though we could have got deeper if I would have took log all over. But as I had said before, I don't want to give, you know, these shadows too much work, because if I do a bunch of work and I get a look I like, what about the other looks that I may do after that? And I don't want to have a 15 pan palette and just always do the same one look. You know what I'm saying? This is really pretty. This is like super pretty. This eye is tearing. And now we're going to take Aura, which is this shade right here. And we're going to put that on our inner corner. So I do really, that looks nice right there. This is a pretty look. We're going to go back to the brush that had this shade on it. And we're just going to like overlap. This is super pretty. We're going to take a blending brush. And we're going to, do I want a tapered one? Yeah. I'm going to pull out this one. I don't use this often because I just find it too big. But we're just going to tap straight into log. And we're going to just bring this just up here. I like how this looks pointed right here. So I'm not even going to do a brow bone highlight shade over there. Yeah, I'm liking how, I think this is one of my favorite looks. And I'm sure it's because it's dark on the outer corner, or darker than the other ones. I like this look. That does look like a sharp point. So what I could do is take a brow bone shade or take teak. I'm gonna leave it actually. That's a different kind of shape, like how it just goes skirt, skirt. I'm gonna leave it, I like it. Now we're not gonna use these two shades because I wanna see what other shades will look like over a base, even though it would be nice to see what this and this looks like over a base, but I do like this shade and I forget, that is just a metallic, that's it? I was thinking that was the wet effect or something, but it's not. So what are we gonna do for this side? We're only gonna put two shades on the lid part. We have teak out here. I want to take shades that don't show up on me, well, that have not so far shown up on me. So we're going to, we know Kava is a topper. You know what, let's do that too. So we're going to be using 3 of these. We're going to take Kava, which is strictly a topper, the Chroma Crystal, which I hate. I realized that one of the shadows that I took out of Star is a Chroma Crystal, and it looks almost like this shade. And so I'm like, do I want 2 of these in the same palette? And this one is Nubia. I was saying Nebula before. I pronounced it like 3 different ways. This one is the sparkling foil, but the other shade was the Chroma Crystal, but it looks almost to be like the same color as this one. So I'm like, do I want 2 of the same in this palette? And I think not. But we could lay down the Chroma Crystal one and top it with this one, but then that's just, you know, I think it would add shine to it. So that's Kava over black base. I don't think it really made a difference with the black base. Now we're going to take Fizzy, because Fizzy doesn't show up on me either. This formula for Fizzy is like extremely smooth, and I do love the formula. This is the Sparkling Wet Effect Golden Nude is described as. And so even though I do like the wet effect, if it's not going to show up, it's like, and this is over a black base, y'all. This is over a black base. So it's like, it's looking greenish down here to me, like it has an olive tone to it, and I'm sure it's because of the black base that we have under here. But now we're going to take, I do like how this one shows up, but it doesn't show up a lot. And I'm also thinking of Alchemist. I do like Alchemist because it is more coppery, which it does blend into my complexion too. We're going to take this one because I think this is one I was thinking of taking out. So we're going to try this one. Also, the $25, now $29 minis, the pans are smaller than the midi size. I don't think it'll be that much of a difference looking at it. Like, wow, that shadow doesn't fit in there, like it's too small. But I do like how this is showing up over the black, and it is turning it kind of grungy-ish over the black, these metallics. But when I'm just looking at the shine aspect, this could be this shade. You know what I'm saying? And so I know we're putting a lot on the lid over here. I just really want to see how those 3 shades, because those were the 3 that I was thinking of taking out of here. So, and I don't even remember, we didn't use, yeah, we did use Nubia. That one I was thinking of keeping, but the other 2, Fizzy and Aurum, this shade I was thinking of taking out of here. So, but the look is nice. We're going to take another blending brush and we're going to go back into Teak, that center shade, which we put on the outer corner, and we're just going to do this up here. So I do like the looks. I just wanted to make sure, you know, before I took shadows out and glued the other ones in, that I was making the right choice. And I do think I am, because even over a black base, this does look grungy, which I like. But one of the shadows from Star, they're kind of grungy, and this to me shows up as a mustard, which is grungy. And so if I want this type of look, I can do this with those other shadows, which will also show up on me on their own. Like, I won't have to use a base. So over black base, not much of a difference. I do like this look too, though, because it is a little more murky. So now I'm kind of second guessing, because I know I'm not going to always want to use a base. But this is like super pretty. And this is different than the other looks because it is looking grungy. Damn it. And I already destroyed my Star palette. And I could just glue them back in into the Star palette. But this is giving me something to think about. But as I said, I'm not going to want to have to use a base, especially when those star shades will give me this grungy type look. You know what I'm saying? And I want to just have this palette and be like, yes, because I'm not going to want to travel with it and be like, oh, I got to make sure I take this shadow base. I need to make sure I take such and such. Whereas the shades from Star, they just work and they show up. And so do these, the ones that do show up. What were we going to do? We were going to take Aura, this same shade, this inner corner shade, and we're going to just pop that on the center of the lower lash line. On look number 7. So that makes this look number 8, y'all. And so I really do hope. Okay, where are you? So I do hope that me doing all of these looks helps you. I have seen a lot of 2-look videos. I can see it there. It's just like a little extra shine in the middle, and that's this inner corner shade. So that's all it really is a shine. And I don't know why I keep thinking this is the wet effect one. This is just a metallic. Okay, that didn't do much, but that's okay because it's pretty. So we're going to edit out putting on, I took out Contemplative State. I took out a brown, but I'm not wanting to do a brown because that's going to blend in. This is making me want to do a green. So what we're going to do, we're going to go bold with a green. We're not going to use green from Fortune. We're going to use this green. So this is going to be pop, 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 popping. We're going to put that on. We're going to put on Max Stack Mascara. And I'm trying out a new lippy, which is black. So we're going to do that. When we come back, everything will be done. There is a new black lipstick in town. This is my second time trying it. I tried it early this morning just to see. And this is my first time officially trying it / wearing it. Y'all know I love it. And I could easily tap one of these shades on top of it. And I was thinking that for this shade. And I think I might have actually done that. Like tap that on top of this just to see. But anyway, this is the look that we have. So this is look number 5. And this is look number 6. I'm really digging this because it's grungy, but I can do this without needing a base with those other shadows. So now I'm kind of like second guessing my life choices, but this I really like as well. But honestly, I could do this with other palettes that I have. Like, this is not a unique look at all. It's unique for me for this palette, but it is not unique in the scheme of other stuff that I have. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do my screenshot. Thank you. So And what I could do is put log all over the lid and then layer the shimmers that don't show up on me on top of it and see if that would give me the same effect as this black. Because if it does, that might change my mind about removing some of these shades. So yeah, so now I'm just like, I just want to make sure I'm making the right choice before I switch out shadows, you know what I'm saying? So I think I'm going to play around with it. It's not going to be another look in this video. It's something I'll just do on my own, or it'll just be like a one-off video of this is me experimenting with this again, or maybe sometime in June do a live stream and do that. So for my members who are watching, let me know what you think. And actually, I'll post it on my community tab because I don't want to keep pumping out more and more looks with this, because I'm ready to move on, even though I still want to keep using it. You know what I mean? Because I've been using this every day since it arrived. And my other stuff is like, we're still here, like, hi, don't you love us anymore? But it is still a lot I want to do with this. And so, yeah, maybe we'll do it in a live stream, you know, just use this and just play around with it. By then it'll be old news. And actually it's already, is it June? No, it's, y'all, my head, I'm like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what today is either. Actually, it is June. So we have our lives planned out for this month. So it would be, what month is this? Y'all, I really don't know. It's June. Today's June 7th. Today's June 7th because Fabulous 50ocity will be here June 8th, which is tomorrow. So, well, maybe I'll just do an impromptu live stream. I'll ask the members. Do an impromptu live stream on a Tuesday because I already have live scheduled out for Mondays, and then figure out laying this down and then topping it, because we've layered over these shades but not this one. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask the members if you want to be in on the what should I do or how should I do it. You need to join the channel, and also that they get to make requests. And so if you're wanting to see certain things or you're wanting to see me experiment with certain things, becoming a member is the way to do that. And so that'll be it. Always a lot of information down below. And that'll be it. My final thoughts, I know I did first impressions. My final thoughts on this palette, if you're my complexion and my undertone, you see what this palette can do. The looks will be different. You saw from the look 1 and 2 against looks 3 and 4 and, you know, all of that. So the looks are different, but day to day, if you did one look one day and another look the next day, would it be that noticeable? Probably not. But when you look at them all together, yes, they're different. And so if that's okay with you, and this is your color story, and you like, you know, light ethereal gold type looks, which I imagine you do if you purchase this or if you're considering purchasing this. And so I'm hoping it's helpful me doing these looks. Like if you're my complexion, my undertone, this is what it's going to look like on you. Even if you layer the sparkling shades over these, it's still not going to really show up on you, if at all. And these two may look ashy on you. This one did not show up at all. So if you're lighter than me, as I mentioned earlier, I think they were doing smoky looks with this, just using even teak and using this shade and even this one that doesn't show up on me, and their looks were really pretty. So if you're lighter than me, these shades will show up deeper on you, and also the sparkling shades will pop more on you, and I think that has to do with undertone. Looks I've seen with people deeper than me, this was the shade they went to for outer corner, and then they went to teak for transition. The shimmers, all the sparkling shades popped, and so it has everything to do with your complexion and your undertone, like what this is going to look like on you, and whether or not if you want to play around with different eyeshadow bases, because this look is unique to this palette, but I had to use a base to get it, and I really love this look because it looks grungy. And so if you want to put work into it to do extra stuff, then yes. If you just like light ethereal coppery type looks that you can just put on, it's a yes. If this is your color story, it's a yes. If you're lighter than me, go for it. If you're deeper than me, it's going to pop. But if you're my complexion and my undertone, I would question my choice on whether or not to purchase it, unless I really just liked these type of looks and the other looks that I've done, because that's all you're going to get out of this, unless you put in extra work, extra bases, using certain brushes, your fingers, you know, wet your brush, all of that stuff. And so my complexion, my undertone, I would say this is questionable unless you just like those types of looks that you've seen me do. If you're lighter than me, the shades that don't show up on me or barely, they're going to show up on you, and they might even be dark on you, and the shimmers will pop. And if you're deeper than me, the shimmers are definitely going to pop. And so it's preference, your color story, what you like, and also just really understanding from the looks I've done and looks other people have done, what it may show up like on you. You know what I'm saying? And so I do think it's a good palette. I love her formulas, except the chroma crystals. And so I still do not regret my purchase. I do want to take out 3 of the shades, but I just want to be sure. So that's what this was about, was just seeing what else I can do, but I'm not always going to want to use a base. And so we're going to come back and lay this down and put probably the same shimmers, if I remember which one there were, over top of it just to see. Because if I can get this out of just this palette, or even mixing up, you know, the different shimmers, metallics, whatever, then I might not switch it up. So those are my final thoughts. That's my review on this. Everything was easy to work with. For some reason, Teak was the most powdery. And when I was put my brush in it, there was a lot of kick up in the pan. The other shades were not. I'm surprised that Fizzy just says it's a metallic, because Fizzy is sparkling wet effect. Fizzy is extremely smooth. And I love how it just goes on. This one doesn't show up, but this looked really nice. I'm taking up too much time. This looked really nice over a black lip. So it just adds a little something. You know what I mean? And I think this one is the one that was just a metallic versus Fizzy. And so you see what I'm saying? So it serves a purpose. And I do like putting shadow on my lipstick more so than gloss, because the gloss breaks down the matteness of the lipstick. So let me just double check. I apologize, I'm taking so long. Yeah, so this shade, Aura, is, yeah, just a metallic. The one we just put on the lips is a metallic, but that's right here and it doesn't show up, and that's right here, it doesn't show up. But I like it for, I would use it for, to still put it, just to have it, and also for over my lips. And so those are my final thoughts about this palette. That's my review of this palette. You've seen 4 looks. You've heard my first impressions. You see 4 more looks in this video, and my final thoughts about it, and what I'm planning to do to see if I can get this without using a paint pot. And so that'll be it. Let me know if this was helpful to you, if everything you've seen from me about this palette was helpful to you. And I really hope it was. Let me know if it gave you something to think about. Like it's a, yeah, maybe. Or if it's like, hell no, girl. No troll, we ain't doing it. So we're going to go. Again, lots of information below. Thank you for being here. And you will see me in the next video. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.